The new American dream is to leave. That was the headline of a Yahoo Finance article written only a couple of days ago. And while it may just sound like that this particular journalist is just straight up hating on the US, they are not the only ones saying this. Let me read you a message from Chad, one of my friends from California who's been looking to move out to the Philippines for a while now. And Chad, I'm sorry if I'm ratting you out here, but you really hit the nail on the head with this one. His text message read, "Mental illness is rampant over here. We had an active shooter just a few neighborhoods away from us a while back. We have crime nonstop. Carjackings, thefts, fights. Our schools are messed up where kids are taught about pronouns during their science courses. Kids are more eligible for colleges nowadays based off of their race than academics. This country is a joke." And while this channel is by no means made on the US, we all can't deny that Chad is just speaking the truth right here. Because what Chad just said here is essentially Cali in a nutshell these past couple of years. Look, I was born and raised in Chicago, and I moved to the Philippines going on about 5 years now. And to say that I'm privileged to have the upbringing I've had there is an understatement. The American dream has morphed into a pipe dream for many people living in the US. At the heart of the national ethos is a belief that anyone can rise from rags to riches through hard work and perseverance. In the past, that was symbolized by owning a large house with a white picket fence, driving a nice car, and having a happy, healthy, and well-educated family. Now, to be completely real with you, that was the exact life that I had back in the States. Life in the suburbs, 20 minutes outside of downtown Chicago, white picket fence home, you know the whole ordeal. As nice as that sounds, the American dream was definitely short-lived leading up to our latter years in the States. Because despite living in a safe community, we turned on the news and we didn't know what to expect. One day you hear about a school shooting incident, the next day you hear about a series of carjackings. And so my point being, between the rising cost of living, the upwelling crime rates, and the political division, the US is pretty chaotic. So what are more and more Americans doing about this? Well, let's read on. As many Americans experience economic disenfranchisement at home, a few may be looking beyond US borders to locate life's sparkle. The Association of American Residents Overseas estimates that at least 5.4 million Americans lived abroad in 2023. The biggest share of expats, 40%, are thought to live in the Western Hemisphere, Canada, Central and South America, or Europe at 26%, while 14% headed to East Asia and the Pacific. Now, just like me, you may be one of that savvy 14% who chose to leave the West for Southeast Asia. Look, leaving the West to move to a completely new country halfway across the world isn't necessarily a walk in the park. From finding a rental without getting scammed to moving your belongings here, if left up to chance, you may come across a lot of hurdles along the way. But to save you from tons of wasted time, money, and headache, I've created this free 15-step checklist for helping you to move to the Philippines. All of the action steps and resources that you need for a successful move to the Philippines is in that checklist, so be sure to claim it in the link in the description. Alright, now going back to the article, what is the quote-unquote American dream? Well, according to social media influencer and full-time traveler Bryn Elise, she says, for some, the new dream is to pack up and head to a quiet European town or a beachside village in Asia, somewhere where we aren't being poisoned by our food, we don't need 2 to 3 jobs to survive, and where healthcare isn't the luxury but the norm. She goes on to say, some place where people can stop and appreciate the little things and enjoy the slow life, a safe place where the community comes together and supports one another. Ultimately, I think that's what many Westerners are yearning for, but it's been hard to come by in the West. And as we mentioned countless of times in previous videos, Forbes released an article just last year titled, "US Surgeon General Cites Loneliness as a Serious Mental Hazard in a New Report." And this is so much so to the point where even the US Surgeon General declared that loneliness is an epidemic in the States. And so one facet and reason why a lot of Americans are leaving the US for the Philippines is because they're moving from the West to a country where the people are very laid back and hospitable. We can all agree that in the US, everybody is constantly go, 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 go. And how can they not be? With rising costs, everybody has to pay their bills. It's survival. Let me give you an example. So I recently had a nearing 3-hour long call with an expat from South Carolina roughly in his late 50s. Let's call him Tony. And so, on call, I asked him, Tony, you're earning a lot of money, you're clearly doing very well for yourself. Why in the world would you want to move to the Philippines? And his response was this: you know, Evan, I'm just lonely here. Nobody stops to have a simple conversation these days. Everybody is so close-minded with their own political agendas, and it doesn't even feel safe here nowadays. Tony said to me, Evan, I want community, I want relationships, and I want to at least have some civil and intellectual conversations. And that's just one of the expats that I've spoken to. Multiply that by 50, and that's just about as many copy and pasted answers that I've gotten over the past couple of months. But it isn't just within the social field that many Western retirees are tired of. Diving back into the article, journalist Bethan goes on to say, it has been a tricky few years from an affordability standpoint for many Americans. The Federal Reserve's effort to curb post-pandemic inflation by hiking interest rates have increased the cost of borrowing and reduced Americans' purchasing power. This has forced a lot of Americans to focus more on short-term goals, for example, like paying rent on time and putting food on the table, over longer-term goals like home ownership, raising a family, and retirement. That one might traditionally associate with the American dream. This may bring us to the question, is the American dream still alive? Well, it is true that the US government is still trying to keep the American dream alive by reducing income inequality by raising wages. However, as a result of that, of course, prices have begun to rise in the States. And in a nutshell, the article talks about how in the pursuit to lower income inequality by raising minimum wages, it has also correspondingly increased the prices of goods and services along with that. And that's a big dilemma, of course, because yes, your wages have risen, but so do prices rise, so what benefit is there really? Meanwhile, if you're following this movement of expats who are in search for a better quality life outside of the West for a more affordable cost of living, you may consider the Philippines. Why? Well, the average expat earning in dollars or really any other foreign currency is afforded immediately a way better life here. Of course, a lot of this is due to the favorable exchange rates and income. Right? Why wouldn't anybody want to take their US dollars or euros for a more affordable, stress-free, happy retired life on the island? Essentially, what you're doing is arbitraging your income for a better lifestyle. And while one can argue, Evan, why would anyone want to move to the Philippines if their income is also going to take a hit along with that? And for me, I'd say that it ultimately comes down to your personal exit or strategy. Let's be real. Nobody wants to sacrifice their Western income earning opportunities to live abroad. Because it's home, it's what you're comfortable with, it's what you're used to, and plus you're making more money. And it's no secret that, unfortunately, the average job in the Philippines will not pay you a handsome enough salary to live the lifestyle that you want. And so that leaves us with, you can either go two routes, or secondly, you can also find other income earning opportunities. Maybe it's ignorant for me to say this to older expats, being that I'm young, but there are countless ways to make money outlined. Not to mention, there are plenty of freelancing and remote jobs out there. So while your income taking a hit when moving to the Philippines is a valid reason not to move out here, there's also other alternatives. And yes, I can already hear the comments, Evan, that's not realistic. Most people are working a normal job where they have to be set in a particular location and it's location dependent. How can anyone do it? If my local Filipino friends can make $5,000 online, completely remote work, freelancing, I really don't doubt that any of you guys can either. The last part of this Yahoo Finance article is titled Freedom and Flexibility. They go on to state, hands down, the best part about being a US citizen is our ability to leave the US and travel abroad to seek out a better life. Let's take a moment to recognize how lucky we are that we can leave. Let's focus on getting remote jobs or building online businesses, grab our passports, and take advantage of the fact that because of the internet, we have the ability to earn US level income from anywhere in the world. And that's exactly my point. If you don't like where you live, income earning opportunities are no longer a constraint in today's day and age. And I understand that this is a very privileged opportunity that I have and that many other expats have as well, but also keep in mind that this is completely accessible to anybody. As long as you're watching this video on a phone, there's no limit to how much you can make. And also, I'd like to end with this final quote from this article. Elise states, "We've been misled to believe that life is about enduring our circumstances and place of birth, but it is not a requirement in life that you had to stay in the same place you were born and spend your life struggling. The fact is, the old American dream just simply does not serve us anymore. Guys, this hits home. The truth is, there is no nobility in sticking in the rat race and enduring a life that you don't want. This video is originally about why many Americans are fleeing the US, and guys, believe me, I want the US to win. I want everybody's life to be great in the US, but that's just not realistic in this day and age and with what we're seeing within the country. And from what I've observed, a lot of people may shame you to believe that there is more nobility and you will provide more value to the world by working a job that you despise and staying put right where you are. And I know I've certainly been shamed like that in the past. And I encourage you respectfully, I know a lot of you guys watching this are much older than I am, go out, take that leap, and pursue the life you've always dreamt of. Again, if you're serious about taking that next step to pursue your dream life in the Philippines, a happy, retired, stress-free life with abundance of relationships, I have my free 15-step checklist in the link in the description. In this checklist, we cover the crucial action steps that you need to take for a successful move to the Philippines. And so there you have it, guys. I know I may have stepped on a lot of toes here because I'm not being idealistic, that the US is still sunshine and rainbows, and that it's still the complete #1 country in the world, but I am being realistic with you, and I hope you appreciate my opinion. And so thank you for watching Savvy Expats. It was a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.